boyfriend's house. He's at work. I'm with his mom and his sister-in-law and the kids. I love it here. I love living on a farm. I love the space. I love the space. I'm just having a hard time, I guess. Being visible in a family home was a lot more triggering than I thought it would be. He showed his mom, Joan, stuff for my D&D campaign, and she was actually really interested, and I wanted to cry after because moms aren't interested. Moms are never interested. I had a flashback moment last night while I was hanging out with the family, and I had a vivid memory of excitedly talking just like I was then, excitedly talking about something with Hazel. But it wasn't I was just trying to share. And she turns to me and says, "Melody, nobody cares about the TV show you're watching." And she said that to me. I was like 9, maybe younger. It was when Pokemon really started kicking off. And I keep coming to it. Pokemon's dumb, but it's an example. It's a very distinct example because the two things happen so closely together. Mom telling me nobody cares about the TV show I'm watching, and I'm talking about Pokemon. Okay. And then a few months later, my sister completes illustrating all 151 Pokemon on her bedroom wall before painting it pink. And Mom asking questions. And Julia rambling. Saying the same things I was saying just 2 months ago. And she's enraptured. I've always heard that. Nobody cares what you think, Melody. Nobody cares what you're watching, Melody. Nobody cares about the book you're reading, Melody. Nobody cares, Melody, is all I heard growing up. Nobody fucking cares. I'm just supposed to be chill with it. I'm not chill. I've never been chill. I have all the chalant. I really do. I don't know. I'm just thinking of every instance where I was told I was reading too much into it when it wasn't even subtext. It was like the picture with this text underneath indicating that this was not true. It was sarcasm, right? I'm making a gesture like a picture book, but it's off camera. Like, it's not fair. Okay? It's not fair. It's not fair that I'm cleaning up their messes. The mess they made of me by not listening at all. They only had to listen one time. And they didn't. Not once. Hazel used to complain, because I used to do this a lot, used to complain about me having difficult conversations with her in the car. But you see, I had a plan, right? If Hazel's driving and I have a hard conversation with her, she has to stay calm or we're both dead. So that's a win-win for me. I either don't get hit or I die. That was a win-win for me then, right? don't get it and I get to share what I'm trying to say. But she noticed a pattern after a while and kept shutting down the difficult conversations I was trying to have in the car. And so I gave up. She literally doesn't want to hear from me. She doesn't want to hear me. She doesn't want to hear me talk. She doesn't want to hear about my life. She doesn't want to hear about my feelings. I confuse her. And I probably make her feel like, I don't know, insecure, like she's got some fucking Napoleon complex or some shit. Like, Mom, I thought you were a literal goddess on earth as a child, and you fucked that up. I never would have thought of you as inferior. I would have thought of you as a glorious base to my brilliance, and everything I would do was to honor the intelligence that you gave me and that you helped bestow in me. And that was when I was living in my fantasy, the fantasy of where I'm loved. Because it's none of those things in reality. I'm smart in spite of you. I'm alive in spite of you. I really am. And nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. I don't even know if anyone's listening. I know this is more for me, right? Because I'm ignored. I'm not heard. A big problem my whole life. Like, how messed up is it that I was so in need of just talking to Hazel without her flying off the handle and immediately hitting me, was to make sure she was otherwise occupied, so we could actually use our words and she won't hit me instead of using her words. The first time I concocted that plan, I was probably not even more than 10. I got just more frequently as I got older, you know? Bigger problems, bigger scary situations. Don't know what to do. I feel a little stuck right now. Like, I don't have space to work on myself, and I don't have space to sort what's going through, and I don't have space to reorganize. Like, it's a mess in my head right now. And I'm just really fucking tired. Because, like, I really was living in a fantasy world. One where I actually mattered. Because, like I said, if I mattered, that angry little girl, you can not believe me if you want, but that's still neglect. I was still beating on my sister. She was still getting hurt. I wasn't getting help. She wasn't protected. Why am I the one suffering for your lack of parenting?